Hey guys, it's me, Tingmanek Prime. So it's been a long time that I haven't uploaded videos on YouTube, and now I finally did it. So today I watched Rise of Beasts, which from of course Transformers by Paramount Pictures, and then also Skydance, and then I just want to review on it. And of course, this video you haven't heard it wrong, you haven't clicked it wrong. It isn't a clickbait. I only has my voice because I just don't want to put any of the pictures into it. Of course, for the first reason, of course, obviously, just to avoid any of the copyright issues. Second, I am just so lazy to edit because I'm just so busy right now. I let me just tell you, I watched the film during I was just taking the exam. I still have examination coming in the next Monday till the next Thursday. So I do have a lot of things to do. So I did watch it. I just want to give a first reaction of that because I do have a lot of things I want to talk about when it comes to the spoilers review, because we can talk more about it, and then now I can just only mention some details or things that we do know from the three trailers that we have from the teaser in December last year, and then we also have a trailer in around is it March or something, March, April, some kind like that, and then we do have the final trailer just a few days ago. So based on these things, and then plus two exclusive clips, if I haven't remembered that wrong, or maybe three, I can't remember that, from Paramount Pictures. I'm only going to base on that, and then some of the first reaction out of the theater that I just want to share with you guys. No spoilers here, so don't worry about it. Even then you haven't watched the film, that's fine. You can just hear about what I say. And one thing that I just want to say, just don't really have to take this very seriously, because I was just sharing my thoughts, finding some people to talk with. That's what this channel is for. I want to know more Transformers fans, and I kind of want to collect more opinions, because I feel like this community, formed by so many people, and it's just not only me who watch Rise of Beasts. There are just so many people, tons of people who watch Rise of Beasts. I just want to share my thoughts to others, share what I thought about it. And now here we go. So before we actually start, can you please consider subscribing? It is completely free, and you can always change my layout. So again, you're just only gonna hear my voice. I'm sorry for that. My apologies, because I'm lazy, because I just want to avoid copyright issues. So also same as the spoilers review, which I'm gonna do it later on, just a couple of days later, because I need to tidy the informations up. So yeah, Rise of Beasts. I'm just gonna recap the story very quick. So basically, what we know from the information is, okay, I'm gonna make it very simple. So they found something, and then the Autobots need them, and then also the Terracons, which are the villains, mainly as Scourge, serving for Unicron, and they need to have these things. So it has a couple of them, and they need to collect them. So Autobots need to collect them before the Terracons did, and that's how the film goes. And then just very formula modern days film. Superheroes, of course, I'm talking about. It's just a bunch of final battle scenes, action scene, which I'm also going to talk about in a couple minutes later. But yeah, that's how the story goes. And then finally, of course, Unicron comes in, and then you just have a big bad final battle here. So yeah, that's how it goes for the main story. So I'm now gonna talk about films in this film without any spoilers, and I'm gonna talk about in different aspects. So first, from the perspective of Stephen Cage Jr., in my perspective, how I think about him when I was watching the film. Okay, first glance, I was a little bit skeptical about it, because like I feel like it's just isn't Travis Knight, which is kind of a bad news for us, especially for me, because I feel Travis Knight was a very good director, and then however he just quit directing the of course the Bumblebee film. So yeah, it was a little bit sad, but it's glad to see that Stephen Cave Jr. actually handled this pretty good. Ain't really the best. It's just again, it's just don't take my opinions very seriously. You can just have your own opinions. That's fine. I just think that it ain't the best, for everything, and maybe some of them more just a couple of them just do not really feel the taste for me, and that's fine. They have their own style, and I understand it, and I won't judge about it or like anything. I'm just gonna tell you guys that I don't like it, but I didn't mean that I hate it or like anything. It's fine, and now let's move on. Different angles. I just want to talk about it. Now, before we move on to it, I just want to give some a little bit of, I don't know, a little bit of good things before we actually dive into some issues I want to address about. So yeah, phenomenal CGIs as always, because Transformers always have these things. We always have these things, and throughout these six, or even counting in this one, 7 films, we do have a bunch of phenomenal CGIs. Even in the design looks very good. It's very faithful to G1. Some of the moments are very badass and very faithful to G1 once again, and also Beast Wars, because we do have Beast Wars characters this time. So it was good to see that. And yeah, now moving on. For the action scene, which is, I guess, the most valuable thing out of the entire Transformers franchise, because people, even in Transformers fans like me, from a very small age, of course it's not now, really just like big bots fighting, big things fighting and destroying buildings. That's what we like to see, different destructions, massive destructions, and it did work so well. Different angles, perspectives that Stephen Cape Jr. used, and then also I guess it's like director of photography, how they use the camera to show off different things makes the thing so much more badass than it was supposed to be. Like, different angle shots. Okay, from the trailer, we of course we do have some action sequences. Of course, I'm referring to the final trailer. We can see a couple of seconds of Scourge rushing into Prime, and that was just actually really awesome. Different angles that they use. Wow, dude, it just actually blew my mind. And then also some exclusive clips that I want to mention about the first encounter of the Maximals and in the Autobots. That was also very equally amazing, because I like on how Stephen Cape Jr. used the camera to capture as many things as possible, and they used it very well, and then it just captures the environment very greatly. And then, I'm not gonna spoil you, but yeah, so many transformations, they take different angles and then they take these into another level, because in comparison to Bumblebee films, Bayverse films, we only have a certain angle of how they transform. But this time though, we have some bird eye views, we have different side perspectives, we have different angles, we have different cameras, perspectives to go around, and I like how they use these tricks to make the audience just go nuts. It's really cool. I did actually I did actually, not kind of like scream, but getting amazed several times in the film. I did remember that. I guess whenever I see Prime transforms, wow, dude, the perspective are just so cool. And then yeah, so how the story goes. Overall, to encapsulate the story, I would just like to say it was a bit rushed. Like, yeah, it was just feel like the first and in the mid section of the film was so good. It was very good, like in terms of the tone, in terms of the like the beat, how they feel. Is it fast? Is it too slow? Or is it just very medium? And then the final act, it just become extremely rushed. Like, I don't know why. Maybe like the the script writers was just, okay, I'm not gonna sleep, and then it just slept over and then just type a bunch of useless things into it. I don't know. I mean, I'm not judging, but it's just a joke. But you get why. Like, if you have watched the film, then you will know how rushed does it feel when it comes to the final act of the film. Yeah, undeniably there are so many moments that faithful to G1, but like we can't just ignore the story because of that, right? And I still need to care about the story, because I go to the theater for the story. I'm not going to the theater to watch big bots fighting. I'm get used to it, right? I've watched 7 films and I'm get used to that, and I just want to see the story, how it goes, how it develops, and how it ends, and how, especially for how it ends, it didn't really end well for me. It's just not my taste, and I feel like the final act they rushed it very fast, and then leading to some of the audience couldn't process what was going on, because like the tone is very different from the middle act and then also the first act. So yeah, it was just like that. Also, the scene in museum was actually so cool. I'm not gonna lie. So many angles had to use again. I'm going back to that topic, but okay. Anyways, it was just so cool. Yeah. So for soundtracks, which is I guess the most thing that I just wait on it so much, even then at some point more than a story, because I think that if there are some climax moments, then soundtrack will be a good thing to I guess make the audience go nuts, because you have different themes, because you have different musics, you have different styles to go, and yeah, composer. I don't know. It's like Jonick. I don't know how to pronounce his name. My bad. I didn't know how to pronounce his name. But okay, fine. Let's just move on. I guess it's like Jonick or like something. He composed the music okay. It's not my taste, but yeah. I've heard a couple of people actually told me that it was a little bit bad. I didn't really think it's as bad as they said, but like, I just don't feel that like people are really hyped or people are really caring about the Autobots when it comes to climax, when it comes to big boss fighting, for example, like maybe Autobots versus the Terracons, and there are no such kind of climax for the soundtracks. There are no variations in it, and I just don't really understand why. Like, yes, taking on in a different style is good, but like, dude, you still need those kind of climax things, right? You still need those climax moments that you would like to make the audience go nuts. You would like to make the audience care about the robots, care about the humans, or even care about the Terracons. But like, no, it's just a very basic soundtrack that those soundtracks are just specifically for the film. It's not like for the character or like anything. I was actually getting surprised. Only Maximals got the individual film. We don't even have a theme for Autobots. Yes, I understand that Steve Jablonsky has already done it in 2007, and he is also as a kind of composer when it comes to this Rise of the Beast film, which is very good. But of course, the main composer isn't him, so I guess, I guess okay. But yeah, just the soundtracks ain't really that good. But it ain't worse. It ain't anything. It's not about the experience of the composer or like anything. It doesn't refer to anything like that. Again, it's just my personal taste that I just don't really like these soundtracks specifically. So yeah. Now, for the story, I want to go back because I feel like the story is the most valuable thing to talk about. Yeah, it was just like, yeah. Quite honest here, like the writers are kind of good at some point. Again, for the first act and then the second act and then the third act, when it comes to the final battle, everything just rushes. And then yes, undeniably, again, I want to highlight it again, because like we have different badass moments, and then I guess they were trying to fill the audience up with the badass moments, and then just enjoy the action scene, sit back, having some popcorns, and then just enjoy the action scene for, I guess, approximately like 9-10 minutes, couldn't remember that, and then just leave. And that's it. Even then the ending was very rushed, and I just don't feel they have paid any attention into it. I feel like they've changed another one. I feel like there are just several writers, doing their own things. They are not mixing their ideas. They are not providing the ideas and then discuss about it. They just only write their own things. And then the second act and then the first act is the same writer, and then the final act is just bunch of rushing things. It didn't even have so many dialogues or whatsoever. We only have a ending speech as always from a Bay Films, and then no, there are nothing. Absolutely nothing. Not even a single dialogue from other characters, humans, or those kind of things. No, not really though. But yeah, this time I just want to highlight the improvement of how they actually use the humans very greatly. You know, from the story arc of Optimus Prime being a much younger leader of the Autobots, has his own expectations of how he's gonna be a leader, and that was good. This kind of makes a comparison with other characters, because other characters like Optimus Primal, like even in Terracons, like Scourge, even then like Bumblebee, because Bumblebee was again another most marketable character in the Transformers franchise. I mean, I'm glad to see that they don't really put so many spotlights on Bumblebee, and they put so many spotlights on Optimus Prime. They focus on his arc, because like usually we don't really see Optimus Prime has his arc, especially when it comes to Bayhem films, the first 5 films that we have, and even in the 6th film, it didn't really have an arc for Optimus Prime. I feel like Peter Cullen is just trying to present the dialogues, and that's it. That's what I feel like. And then they did actually give an arc for Optimus Prime, which is good, and Noah as well, which is very surprising, because like even then when it comes to Sam, it's just doing some horny things, and then that's it, right? When it comes to first like the trilogy of the Bay films. I'm not even gonna talk about Age of Extinction and The Last Night, because the humans didn't even do anything about it. But like this time, Noah has done something, has some contributions into it, which makes the point again highlighted that protecting their home needs two bonds, the two different forces. It's not just only the Autobots and Transformers going to fight against the Terracons to protect Earth. It's more like humans are trying to help them, and then while Autobots are trying to help them, which makes sense. And there are a lot of couple of the emotional moments that you will feel a little bit of teared, or at least when it comes to Mirage. Yeah, I almost teared. Like, I didn't even tear when it comes to. I didn't even have one single. Yeah. I don't even have like one single tear when it comes to Bumblebee or those Bay first films. I did remember I guess I have, like for Bumblebee at the end, but like yeah, this one though, just wow. Like Mirage is a very new character, and he has never been introduced when it comes to the live action film, so it was good. Now heading on to the issues. Besides the story that I've talked about how rushed it is, this is Transformers: Rise of the Beast, right? And we're going to expect that when we sit in the theater, we're going to see more Rise of the Beast characters, and then no, we only have a couple minutes, and when it comes to the second act and then the final act, second act is where they appear, and then the final act is like they help the Autobots, and then they just fight, and that's it. And I feel like Rise of the Beast ain't Rise of the Beast, it's like Rise of the Autobots, or even then, more specifically, Rise of Noah Diaz. I'm not even joking to you, because I feel like the entire Maximus crew are just bunch of functioning people, or like functioning characters that helped Autobots to achieve the goal. And other than that, nothing. No arc, no stuff, not really like a very solid background story. Is just dude. It's just not Rise of the Beast. This isn't Rise of the Beast, because we don't even have enough screen time for Rise of the Beast. I guess it's enough for Michelle Yeoh, but Ro Perlman, no. And then Cheetor, no. David Zaslav, no. And then it's just like that. Even the Wheeljack, Pablo, yes, Pablo didn't even get so many screen times, and I was confused. And I got it. I get why they have to do that, because like side characters, Pablo is a side character, but like when it comes to Maximus, dude, there are beasts, right? And then you need to highlight them. You said these are the spotlights of the film, then you should highlight them, and they just instead do nothing and just still focus on Autobots. I didn't mean that Peter Cullen should get less screen time. Like, they should make the ratio right. they make the ratio of each character in Autobot and in the Terracons very well. The ratio between the screen times are exactly the things that I want. But like for Maximals, no, except Eraser, because Eraser, you know, again, not gonna spoil you, but Eraser somehow has a different time when it comes to meeting up with the Maximals and then also Eraser. So it has different time periods. So Michelle Yeoh did a great job on it. I like her voice actings. It was good. It was really good. And she did have enough screen time, but like when it comes to Primal, no. Cheetor, no. It just only have a few dialogues, and I just feel like, why are you even calling that Rise of the Beast? You can have alternate titles, right? You can have Rise of Unicorn, you can have Rise of Optimus Prime, you can have Rise of Noah the Ice, and you can have Rise of Elena, and you can have Rise of Elena, you can have Rise of the Bumblebee, and you can have Rise of, I don't know, Pablo, but just not for the Beast. Bro, this is weird. Like, this is where it confused me for the biggest part, that it confused me. And that's it. That's my general review on the Transformers Rise of Beasts. And what do you think? Are you gonna watch it or not? If you're watching it, then what do you think? If you have already watched it, then yeah, feel free to share with me. Just not in this video, because I can just tell you guys, just do not comment down here. You can just comment down in the spoilers video if you have already watched it, but if you haven't, then don't go to there, because I'm afraid that someone is just gonna spoil others, so I don't want this thing happen. So just be careful of that, okay? If I see that, then I'm gonna delete the comment. Yes, I'm taking this seriously, because like I just don't want people to get affected by someone's opinion, including myself. So yeah, don't do that, guys. Now, yeah. So that's the end of the video, and I'm gonna make the spoilers review, which I'm gonna talk about the plot more detailed, which I'm gonna talk about those issues that I addressed more detailedly. And yeah, follow my Instagram and subscribe to this channel, and subscribe to my second channel, Take Nick. It's about gaming stuff, and I still haven't re-uploaded. But yeah, just subscribe to this channel, subscribe to that channel. All of those social medias and different links will be linked in the description box below, so go check them out and have a great time, guys. Take care and see you in the next video.